Hey guys, and we're live. Thank you for tuning in to Black Voices Nonprofit Edition. I'm gonna let some of y'all come on in. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Okay, I'm gonna stop. People don't like when I sing. Let me invite some people to these streets, to these young alumni streets. We are interviewing some dope alumni tonight. Hello, 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 hello. We are inviting some dope alumni tonight. Blackgirlsdive, I'll be pulling you up in a second. Give me 1 second. Let me send this to Brandon as well. So again, guys, thank you for tuning in to Black Voices. This is a series we developed about 2 years ago to honor the voices at Lincoln University. The first edition we did a shopping spree. We honored, well, not shopping spree. We did LU Shop. You see, the National ALU doing Shop LU. That grew from the Shop LU that we did during Black Voices 2 years ago. Last year we honored voices that are in the media space, that are in literature as well as film. This year we're honoring nonprofits, people who decide to put everything out on the table for everyone else. They seen a need in their people and they decided to create a program around it to serve their people. I feel like we're ready for this. Today is literally Harold. I need you to jump up with me for a second. But today is a great day to vibe with your family. Thank you for being here. I'm train you guys. So if he does hop on, I can't invite him. Harold, you gotta add the invite real quick. So again, my name is Dominique Johnson. I am the co-chair of the Young Alumni Council, which is a committee, a part of the ALU. We are again hosting interviews that we are doing with alumni that are in nonprofit space. We call this our Black Voice series. It was actually a brainchild of Harold Creates. So very quickly, I'll give you some more background about YAC. Our focus is bridge the gap between alum who move out of the gates of Lincoln University between 1 to 15 years. And it's more likely for them to become distant from their alma mater than grow closer. So our goal is to stay out here and engage people, put more alumni in front of you so you see what everyone else is doing, and put you in front of other alumni so people know what you're doing and how they can support. Harold, are you going to jump up? If not, let me know. All right, I'm going to bring up our tour, I guess, for tonight. Hola. Hello.
Hola.
Brandon. Nevada. So guys, I want you to know this is not a super formal interview. We're just kicking it with some of our brothers and sisters, our cousins. Oh, it starts spinning. Do you guys see me or am I spinning?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're really low, Nevada. Your volume's really low.
Okay.
You got some headphones?
Yeah, that's what.
Harold. And then he hops back in there when I want to bring him up to warm the crowd. So once she gets her headphones in, we're going to warm this room real quick with a quick, something a little bit different I'm sure you're not used to. All right. We're looking at the fan.
I'm trying to get.
It's okay. This is the social media world. We're used to it by now. Hello to everyone coming in. If you're in, drop in the bottom where you're tuning in from. We're trying to see where people are at in these after Lincoln streets. We want to know where our people are tuning in from. Well, Brother Randall, while she's getting her audio together, can you tell us a little bit about yourself outside of Black Girls Dive?
Yeah, sure. So I'll start at Lincoln. So Brandon Jones, class of 91. And right now I work in the federal government, even though I'm on the the advisory chair for Black Girls Dive, but I'm a Fed. So I work for the National Science Foundation. I was a bio major at Lincoln, and I have my PhD in marine biology from the University of Delaware. And yeah, I work in the Directorate for Geosciences or Earth System Sciences at the National Science Foundation, and I manage programs that focus on workforce development and diversity and education in the Earth System Sciences.
What was your initial interest? What brought you to that?
Yeah, so for as long as I can remember, probably I don't know, elementary school, the first, second, third grade, I had an interest in the ocean.
Okay.
I'm originally from Ohio, so there's not a lot of ocean there, obviously. But my
Right.
family used to take me fishing all around there, and I used to think, wow, these animals are in lakes and streams. I wonder what's in the ocean. And of course, back then, at that time, Jacques Cousteau and these other nature shows were on, and so I used to watch them, and they go all around the world and scuba dive and all these exotic locations, and that sparked my interest even more. So I just always wanted to do oceanography or marine biology, and that was kind of the track I took. Science and math was my thing, and when I got to Lincoln, I was able to connect with a mentor, Dr. Royer. I don't know if he's still there in the bio department. I don't think he is. I'm not sure. But anyway, he was my advisor, and he was actually a marine scientist. He had his degree from Rutgers.
Okay.
And so he was able to give me some research experience and help me with my grad school applications and all that kind of stuff.
I love that it's a dream you had from a young child, and it kind of took you all the way through now. Have you entered or went like down different road paths that you never even seen, imagined?
Oh yeah, most certainly. And you know, so after I left Lincoln, I had an internship because the last senior year I had a fellowship with the Environmental Protection Agency, senior year at Lincoln, and they paid my tuition, and I had a monthly stipend. And as part of that fellowship, I got to do an internship at any EPA facility in the country, and I picked Anchorage, Alaska. And so I was up in Anchorage for 3 months. I've been to the bottom of the ocean twice in the deep submersible Alvin, out at where the Pacific Plate spreads at the bottom of the ocean floor, and the hydrothermal vents. So yeah, I've gotten to do some things that are just blow your mind and very remarkable.
Something that most will never get to see. So guys, we're waiting before we get all the way into this interview about Black Girls Dive, for Nevada's audio. Can you hear us? Yep, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, guys, I like to do a little. I'm the what is it called? Icebreaker person, right? So just really quickly, we're gonna do like 2 words. So I like to do song association. I'm gonna give you a word. You gotta give me a song. Y'all, can you do that? You got it?
Okay.
So the word would be time, time. If you are watching and you know a song, throw it in the chat. Come on, hit me. Both of you guys, give me a song that includes the word time in the lyrics or the title.
I gotta type it in?
No, just say it.
Oh, Cindy Lauper, Time After Time.
Brother Brandon, do you have one?
No, I was thinking of Timex Social Club. So I think they did they do Rumors or something? Yeah, I'm dating again. They did Rumors way back in the 80s.
How did that go?
Yeah.
Looking at
How do rumors get started? Yeah.
People.
Exactly.
All right.
But the other one though was Morris Day and the Time. So
you were thinking like names of the band. All right, the next one would be phone or telephone. Remember, it's in the title or it's in the lyrics?
Mr. Telephone Man,
Oh,
new
Brandy,
edition.
that
So,
was mine.
oh, if that was yours, then both y'all have to sing it.
Oh, wait. What's another one that has phone or telephone?
If you guys
Mm.
remember, if you're watching, drop one in the chat for us.
Phone or telephone?
Phone or telephone? Can't believe you took Mr. Telephone Man.
Oh, that was
Oh,
the number
man.
time. Mr.
Mhm.
Telephone Man, is something
Exactly.
wrong with my life?
Wrong with my line. Yeah. Bobby.
Oh,
Woo.
We're going to let you marinate on it. We're going to come back to it. We will
I'm
come
gonna
back
text her on the
to it.
side.
So, guys, again, before we get started, my name is Dr. Johnson. I am one of the co-chairs for the Young Alumni Association, for the Young Alumni Association, no, for the Young Alumni Council, which is a committee on the board of ALU. If you need any more information about either ALU or being a part of YAC, please make sure you DM us. If you're in the replay crew, share this with your friends. If you're here watching, send us out to at least 3 of your alumni friends, or you're just your friends who support everything LU. So, guys, can you please introduce yourself for me? Nevada, you can go first.
Hi, I'm Nevada Winrow, class of 94. Actually, no, 93. I was supposed to graduate 94. Got finished early. Um, oh, yeah.
Quick flex on them.
Oh, yeah. I got out 2 years early. I was in a 5-year program, finished in 3, 24 credits a semester.
Flex.
So, a psychobiology major at Lincoln, minored in philosophy, took Russian and Arabic as my 2 critical languages. Left Lincoln and went to Howard University, where I received a master's in cognitive neuroscience. And I received a PhD in neuropsychology. I'm a pediatric neuropsychologist by training. I came out of Johns Hopkins School of Medicine in 2001, where I did 2 postdocs, one in pediatrics, hematology oncology, and the other in neuroradiology. So right now I am the founder of Blackgirlsdive Foundation and work a full-time job for the state of Maryland.
Ooh, okay. Yes, y'all can throw some hearts up for that, because that's everything and more. Good brother Brandon, can you introduce yourself one more time for the people?
I don't want to follow that. That's
Look, I'm about to
you set me up. Yeah, you set me
hold the
up.
whole interview after this.
Whatever, you went to the bottom of the ocean. We both
So,
did.
We're going to, let's all
right.
exit. Goodbye.
Look. So Brandon Jones, class of 91, Lincoln University. I was a bio major. After I left Lincoln, also I was in the honors program similar to Nevada, and I majored in biology, but minored in Chinese. Don't ask me to speak any. But anyway, went to University of Delaware, the College of Earth, Ocean, and Environment down in Lewis, Delaware, near Rehoboth Beach, and I got my master's there in '94. I came to Prince George's County, Maryland, and taught high school for 5 years, and then I went back to University of Delaware and got my PhD in 2004. And then I came to work at the Environmental Protection Agency. I did 1 year as a policy postdoc in the Office of Research and Development in DC. And they hired me after that 1 year. And I was there for maybe almost 13 years. And then I moved over to the National Science Foundation. I've been there almost 6 years. And I work in the Directorate for Geosciences. And I manage education, diversity, and broadening participation programs. And I'm the advisory board chair for Blackgirlsdive with my sister here.
We can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Exiting.
No,
Ooh, I'm playing, but so can you guys
we gotta
come
give a shout out, because I want to make sure I don't miss anyone.
to the rest of your board? Correct.
Yeah.
So before we start, tell us about how your board, about your board and the importance of linking in your board.
Right. So our advisory board is comprised of about 80% of Lincoln alum. We, I guess is what they instilled in us at Lincoln, that, when I made the call and I said, look, this is what I want to do, they were supportive. Lincoln definitely cultivated a sense of kinship, of family. You know, they extended well beyond once we graduated. So, you know, our professional circles are pretty strong. So for our board of advisors, we have Dr. Dawn Ward, who is a organic chemist. She came out of Lincoln spring of 94. We have Dr. Stacy Eady, who is a pediatrician. She's a physician. She came out 1994. We have Dr. Alexis McCrae, who's also a physician, and also practices cosmetic, has a medical spa, has a med spa. We have Eric C. Webb, who's also on our board. When did Eric come out?
91.
Okay. So yeah, Eric.
And I have to mention that Eric and I are both proud members of New Chapter Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yes.
If Harold's still here, my co-chair is also a member of Alpha Phi Alpha New Chapter.
Well, he all right there. He good. He good.
Yes, Harold Williams. Lord.
And Dr. Ayeru, who is the vice president of research at Lincoln University currently, is also on my board.
Listen, y'all have a lot of excellence.
On my governance board, we have Dr. Kersonia Wise Whitehead. And when did Dr. White, when did she come out? 91?
90 or 91.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got Lincoln all up in here.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
God, where's the hearts at, y'all? Drop these orange and blue hearts for all this excellence on their board. Like, this is what the importance, and I think it's great to hear stories like this, because when you ask if a HBCU is relevant in today, yes, it is. Is there an important place for? Yes, it is. Because without Lincoln, you would have not been able to develop that strong African American board of all this excellence. I'm not going to say without. You probably would have, because you're in all this, like, all different excellent lanes yourself. But it made it a lot easier for you.
It definitely open up doors, possibilities. You know.
Can you? First of all, if you guys see me looking down on my screen, for some reason you're frozen. So I have another screen below that allows me to see you guys moving and stuff. Because right here you're just still, so it feels like I'm talking to myself in voices.
Oh my goodness! Wait, I forgot Dr. Hayes. I just see Dr. Hayes. Come on, Dr. Hayes is on my board.
Dr. Hayes.
Yeah, Dr. July Hayes is on my board.
That's my favorite little bro.
Oh, yes, he is on my board.
Dr. Hayes, what's up, bro? Drop it. Say hello back. So tell us how you decided to start Blackgirlsdive. Where did this come from? What triggered you to say I have to do something?
Just my concern of just a lack of representation. You know, I was actually at a dive summit, and you know, we were kind of sitting around just kind of looking at the landscape, and there just weren't a lot of Black women. So we started talking about, you know, what's going on with that. So, you know, the first thing comes up, the hair, you know, getting the hair wet, and the whole cultural narrative about Blacks just don't swim, or Blacks don't get in water, or you see the memes going around where Blacks are at a pool party and everybody's around the pool, in the pool. So, you know, we started thinking, you know, what type of, you know, impact that has, even though it's a fallacy to say that you have to be able to swim to go in marine science. People associate marine science with water. So if you combine that with that cultural narrative that Blacks don't hang around water, you know, we started thinking, well, maybe this is why we don't see a lot of women in the marine sciences. Just from that, you know, systemic cultural narrative that happened. So I came up with an idea of, where can I create a space for young ladies to thrive, where they're not feeling judged, and they can kind of geek out and have fun and just explore their STEM identity. So I came up with Blackgirlsdive Foundation.
I love it. So, Brother Ron, I got a quick question for you. But before we go in, guys, I just want to remind you we're in here. This is our Black Voices series where we talk to different people who want to Lincoln University in different sectors. Right now, we're doing nonprofits this month. All nonprofits amplifying their voice amongst our community. Now, Brother Brown, tell me why you said yes when you received the call.
the threats. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
real
say
though.
you can't say no to
Were you
Nevada.
voluntold?
That was real talk. That was real talk. No, so so there's about 2% of that. The other 98%, the programs that I manage at NSF, this kind of concept that Nevada come up with uh, was right in line with just my passion. And so the informal education space where individuals can learn and be creative and be innovative and really be their whole selves outside of the structured institution of education, which we know is not doing a very good job for students of color. So when you have a space like Nevada is created, where they're not only, as she said, strengthening their STEM identity, but they're learning and they're having a good time, et cetera, and they're building relationships with each other because they're moving as cohorts. That I couldn't say no to that, so I can't just be in the federal government and push paper and then not actually walk that walk. So
And
it was perfect.
that's important. We gotta drop some more hearts for you. Throw some more orange and blue hearts because that's the important part, right? She couldn't do it without a team. As much as we try, and you see, she already takes on a lot, and we all like to be superwoman, but needed a team and needed someone to say, "I believe in it, and I can do more than what I'm doing, so I'm backing you." So that's all for you. Dropping some hearts for you, and dropping some hearts for you, Nevada, for knowing who to pick. How was that process?
It was a no-brainer. It's like, we knew each other from school. I knew who the thinkers were. It was easy. It was just a matter of picking up the phone, like, listen to this idea. I need your support. And, once I told them the idea, and where it can go further on down the line, they were like, sure. So,
So
they're
when did you
all
start?
scientists.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying they're all scientists. They understand, there's a culture of science, the science speak, the habits of mind of being a scientist. So those are the kind of things we try to instill with these young ladies.
I love it. Can you tell me when you started and what was some of the initial wins that you had?
The first win is getting all these guys on my board. That was the first win. The second was the first cohort, the very first cohort with them showing up, the first day, Brandon was there on the first day, and just watching their eyes light up, the excitement, particularly when we got them in the water, once they started, getting in the water and they were breathing underwater, it was game on.
I love this. What year was this when you started?
2017.
So you're fairly new.
Very new. We're still in our I won't say neonate stage, but we're in infancy.
Yeah, you're definitely an infant. So, of course, we had a previous conversation, but based off of some of the things you told me, I really thought you might have had at least 10 years under your belt. Can you share?
We've been working hard.
Yes. Guys, please blow their minds with some of the things that you have been working on in these past years. Please tell them, some things you have been able to accomplish, places you've been able to take the young ladies.
So first year, they go through open water training. We take them to Andros Island, which is actually it's the largest archipelago in the Bahamas, where they do their certification checkout dives. We're very big on authentic learning and culturally relevant curriculum. So when they went to Andros Island, they learned about the culture there. Like they have Junkanoo, which is their carnival. So, they had a chance to listen to Androsian music. One of their big, what I call it? It's called Androsia, where they make batiks. So they had an opportunity to not only visit the factory, but actually engage in the batiking wax process. And they were able to take some of the items back with them. They spent time cleaning up the beaches there. They visited a sponge farm. That year, we also work with underwater robotics. So we have underwater ROVs. They take classes in underwater photography and videography. Their second year, when they go into advanced open water, we take them to Egypt. So they went to dive in the Red Sea. So for that entire year, they took a year of Arabic, learned about the culture. When we got there, they had an opportunity to experience a Bedouin dinner. They rode the ATVs through the dunes of Cairo. So that was awesome. They had a ball with the ATV. We went to the Papyrus Institute. Even before we left, National Geographic Museum had the Queens of Egypt exhibit. So they went there. So, just prepping them, prepping them with knowledge. There were a lot of Egyptian queens that not even myself had ever heard of. So, it was that opportunity to pick that up. They had a native speaking Arabic teacher. They really liked that. The writing, they really enjoyed the writing. They thought the writing was cool since it's right to left.
Before you go to the third year, I want to make sure people are paying attention that you were saying you took some young women from America to the Bahamas on the first year to not only dive and pass their open water training, but to learn about the culture. Then the second year, they went to Egypt.
They went to Egypt.
And learned all about their culture.
Mm-hmm.
Who's doing this?
No, we are.
Okay,
in less than 5 years. In less than 5 years.
5 years. No one but Blackgirlsdive ran and operated by Lincoln Alumni.
Yep, all Lincoln Alumni.
Like, this is the reason we have to stand proud in who we are, because things are being done like this by other alumni.
Yeah. So we've been awesome. Making it happen. So they're
third year. Whew,
it's a cool thing. So we have an aquarium dive component. So they dive in all the 3 of the aquariums in the country. So they dove into Georgia. So they had a chance to see the whale sharks there and the manta rays. So we had some problems. They will dive. Well, probably the end of it, they will dive at the Epcot Aquarium, and they will also dive some what we call altitude diving. They will dive at the Colorado. Another new component, we have our shark research and conservation component, where we do shark tagging. So we take them down.
One second, you're starting to break up. You didn't move locations. Just let's stop for 1 second and see if we can get it back together. All right, go ahead, pick up now because you're clear.
Okay. So they do shark tagging, part of our shark research and conservation component. They get a digital badge. So they actually are baiting and pulling sharks up on the boat, tagging them with satellite tags, so they're tracking their migrational patterns. So they're learning that. That's new for this year with University of Miami and one of our faculty, Dr. Neil Hammerslag, who leads this effort. So in 2 weeks, we go to Bimini, and we're going to take them diving with the hammerhead sharks. So we'll spend about 3 days in Bimini in a couple of weeks where they're diving with the hammerhead sharks, and then we're going to visit some mangroves, and they're going to dive with the lemon sharks. So, this is all part of our shark research and conservation component where they're learning about shark ecology and conservation. The whole part of tracking sharks is, looking at their abundance, if they're flourishing and so forth. So that's another aspect. I'm trying to think what else we're doing. We also have our drone and ROV component where they are learning to operate these ROVs, because there's some instances where we can't dive, but we can take the ROVs, and these ROVs go like 200 meters down. The 4K video, it does live feed, live streaming. So we're teaching them how to pilot these ROVs, both the underwater ROVs as well as the aerial ROVs. Those who are 16, we prep them to sit for the FAA drone commercial pilot's license, and we do that as an opportunity to potentially get a job in the summer. You don't have to work at McDonald's or Wendy's. You can actually be hired to take your drone out and professionally take pictures and make pretty good money.
Really, this is mind blowing. I don't know how it is for everyone else, but for me, I'm like, wow, wish I could have been in Maryland in 2017. And what's the age range?
We start as early as 9. We have 4 chapters. We have 4 chapters. We have 2 in Maryland now. One with Liberty Road Parks and Recs. The other at St. Francis Academy, which has their own history. The first Black Nun order. I'm blocking on the. I'm blocking their names. It's a Providence, the Sisterhood of Providence, or something like that. So history, educating what they call colored girls back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So appropriate, not with Black. We have another in Trenton, New Jersey, and then we have our aquarium.
So I'm sure with me and the people in the comments and the people watching the replay, when are you starting your edition for adults? I need to get in the water with the sharks. How are you doing this? What's the qualification to be a chaperone? Because this experience is mind blowing. Just you started going to the Bahamas. We can't even take that part lightly. It's a Caribbean connected to America, but so many people don't even get out their own cities, let alone be able to go to the travel to the Bahamas, learn about the culture, pass an open water test. I barely took the swim test at the YMCA. So we can't overlook that. And then the next year is Egypt.
Yep.
You take these young ladies to Egypt.
Yep, spent a whole week in Egypt. We were in
You teach
Sharm
them how to fly drones. You're swimming with sharks and collecting sharks and immigrate. Like, this is not lightweight. Like, the flex is all over this, and you can't be humble about it. There's no room to be humble about this. Like,
they are having a blast.
so how is it for you when you sit back and look at this, and Brother Brandon, you can go, when you sit back and look at this and see what you have been able to be a part of, what's the feeling that comes along with this?
Yeah, that's a heavy question. So as you were mentioning, the Bahamas and Egypt, so there's that diaspora connection for them, which is critically important. There's the service learning component that I'm really excited about, that's kind of interwoven in everything that they do. So that's part of learning the culture where they go. So that means they have another level of respect for where they're going to conduct research, because the white Western colonistic way of doing research is going somewhere, extracting the data, the information, the samples, the organisms, and then leaving. But they're learning a way to holistically conduct research in a sustainable way. So that, it checks every single box that you think about when you're talking about moving forward in a future where students can be themselves, where they can learn, where they can still contribute to society, and be professionals all at the same time. So there's not one thing that I can say. It's the whole package.
I understand, because I'm over here blown. If you guys love what you heard so far, make sure you drop the orange and blue heart. Let them know you're here. Let them know you're listening. You're tapping in. So this is something you guys, I'm pretty sure at work you might have done kudos, right? We're going to do something similar called crushing on. What is something right now in the midst of the program that you're crushing on, that you're excited about? You can't wait for it to happen, or it already happened and it just kind of reignited your fire?
Being able to travel again.
You got to say, I'm crushing on.
I'm crushing on being able to travel again with these babies. That's the highlight, because it's not just, it's the whole journey. It's about teaching them about travel in and of itself. Like our first year, one of our flights got canceled. So that's the nature of the beast when you're traveling, particularly internationally. So it was an opportunity to see the chaperones not panic. We went over to the counter. They were able to see, well, what do we do? How are we getting home? They canceled our flight. And they had an opportunity to see non-panic chaperones handle their business like it's just another day. So it's those little things as well. With traveling, particularly even when we went to Egypt, just understanding the culture. One of the other activities we had them do was sew their own hijab. So we actually went to a sewing school for a day, and they cut out their own patterns and they did their own hijab because we had a layover in Saudi Arabia, which is very conservative. So,
Mm-hmm.
for them understanding and respecting the culture, um, doing things like that. Even, they spent some time in the Florida Keys where they were actually diving and cleaning coral, um, and learning how to train dolphins, when dolphins have to be rescued, how to care for them. So it's a pretty well-rounded program.
Well-rounded, feels like it's well-developed, well-structured, blessed and highly favored, extra season on top of it, all of it.
It's even though I joke, I'm like, I actually got a full-time job, but I guess I don't look at it like a full-time job. It's just doing something that you love. So Brandon tell you, I'll send emails 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just up.
Yes. Yes.
I have an idea. I'm like, hey. But
Yes.
So, for anyone watching interested in starting a nonprofit, being a part of a nonprofit board, what do you advise them to do first?
Well, it depends on what they want to do. I will say for youth programs, understanding the landscape, understanding enterprise risk management. A lot of people overlook it. It's like, you think you can just get kids together and you can send them to some places, and it's so much more. So just understanding how to operate professionally, I legally operate in that space, where the right types of insurance that you need, or the right types of procedures with managing minors. So I'm very big on enterprise risk management, because it's that one little thing that can take an organization down. No matter how strong your strategic plan is, no matter how strong your board is, it's those little things and little accusations that will tear an organization down. So it's like, do your homework, do a lot of reading, setting your benchmarks, understanding how to set your benchmarks, what your benchmarks are, what your goals are, realistic, an environmental scan. Now, in fairness for me, when we did our environmental scan, we knew it was no other program that.
And it's still not.
But you still got to go like, well, who's doing what? But yeah, and just listening to the community. But one of the big things I always say, and it's no shade to any other extramural sports, but it's like, I want other opportunities besides the dance and the cheerleading, basketball. It's like there are other things that girls can do, that will carry them through their entire lives.
Like you said, it's no shade, no tea. I'm really big on that, because we don't really know the opportunities that's available to us until we're exposed to them. I tell people, like, and when I was coming to college, I had a very narrow mindset about my career path. Once I decided to kind of go to school for social work, human service, that area, I was going to come out, be a TSS worker. That's like I wrap around with children and work for DHS. That's all I had in my mind at 16, 17. That's all I knew. From I worked on now getting to Lincoln and being exposed to so many different aspects, I realized you're really a programmer. But it wasn't until I was about 18 that I got exposed to more. And imagine that I was 9 in Egypt. Like, that's the importance of this. This is, so important. Now, Brother Brown, when
and
it comes
certified, and look, and a certified diver. Our girls are certified divers.
I need the adult program. We're going to talk about this later. Brother Brown, in terms of being on this team, what's the importance of team, and like, what's the role? Also, we didn't talk about what's the role you play on the advisory board, and how important to you do you believe, or not even how important, what's the success of this program connected to the team?
Yeah, and Nevada took my advice. I've been a part of other boards and large professional societies and other organizations at universities and things of that nature. And they're not as well structured. And then we're talking 100-year-old organizations, or, 75-year-old institutions or whatever, and they're not as well structured or even focused on implementation as Black Girls Dive. So shout out to Nevada and just her visioning and her systems thinking, how she could just put things together and then make it work. So just adding the little pieces of advice here and there, and a lot of the advice, I know in the first couple of years, was just real informal stuff because we were learning. So we would be in person at some of their sessions on Saturdays, and Nevada, she'd just come over to me and be like, all right, such and such happened. What should we do? I'm like, I don't know. Let me Google that. I don't know. I mean, that's where we were.
Where we were.
But just in that short amount of time, as you heard Nevada describe everything, look at the growth. So, I'm crushing on the growth of the organization. It is, I mean, she talked about 4 different chapters. She talked about these collaborations with these huge aquarium across the country. It's not just Bahamas and Egypt. We skipping over the fact that they're getting ready to go to Bimini.
2 weeks.
Come on. That's and here's some advice. It's funny. It's not funny, but it's a real thing. A couple of weeks ago, she said, the girls are going to go to Bimini. And the first thing I said was, check the radiation. Because Bimini and those surrounding islands was where the U.S. did a lot of nuclear testing before they dropped the bomb in Japan.
And only you would have known that. I would have never.
Only he would have known that.
I said, so do your research and make sure you're not taking the girls and they come back. So those kinds of things, but like jellyfish, right? But yeah, and I think the last thing I'll say about that is the importance of a team that trusts each other. We're not trying to be in anyone else's lane. We know why we're here, and we know what we provide. And when someone else says something, we trust them as the expert, and you move with it. And so, it's just been a great ride so far. I'm looking forward to the next 20 years to see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm excited. We have you probably didn't know. You didn't know, Brandon. University of Delaware reached out to us.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
They want to do have a collaboration. So I'm looking at a pipeline that our girls, after they finish our program, so we follow our girls all the way up to college. And once they get to college, they become BGG Scholar alumni. So 100% of our girls has gotten into every college they applied for, including their reach, what we call their reach schools. So University of Rhode Island is the Harvard of oceanography. Coastal Carolina, Rochester Institute of Technology, RIT. So we follow these girls all the way to college, and then we have them come back in a mentor role. So we're actually sending 4 off this year. One possibly is going to Spelman, another RIT or Drexel, another one Duke, and Sky's already at Coastal Carolina. So we're really proud of them. And their portfolios are tight. They have.
You guys are doing an awesome job to the point. Listen, I told you I want to know where the adult program is. I'll settle to be a chaperone, but I'm trying to get in the water. The second part of it, I need to be an honorary because this is so awesome. And again, I keep telling you the reasons why this is important, but one of the reasons is that what you're doing, I'm hoping to inspire someone else to be able to dream this big. And even for me, I said before you, so my background, we talked earlier about how I work in human service, but my background is in youth development. And I even started a small program called Horizon Youth Experience. And the idea originally was to provide exploratory experiences. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a solid team. But I never, even with the plan I did have, was never as robust as what you have. And as I'm sitting here and listening to you, I'm like, girl, it's time to think bigger. There's so much more you can be doing with these bigger, right? I actually hope someone decides to try to come do what you do. They won't have the you got the sauce. Because, but I hope someone watches it and like, oh wait, we need something like this, or I need this in a different sector of science, or I need to
And
do
we're
this.
trying to internationally,
Say it
you
again?
know, and we're also expanding internationally. COVID screwed everything up, but we were going over to Tanzania to do our chat there. COVID hit.
Shut the live
But
off. Turn the live off.
so
Woo!
we're gonna go back and explore Tanzania, explore Belize, and see to give other opportunities to girls there.
This is really awesome, guys. So if you're watching now or you're watching a replay, one of the things that we want our family, our brothers, our sisters, our cousins to do is donate 1854 in any way, right? We're saying donate it $8.54 because I don't know your struggles. I'm saying donate $18.54, $8.54, $18.54 because I don't know your pockets. But I'm asking you to start somewhere. So as we go through this month and highlight these different organizations, we ask that you donate to them. Can you tell them how they can donate to Black Girl Dive?
Sure. They can go to blackgirlsdivefoundation.org and right on our website, big donation button. And since we're all volunteers, so none of us get paid to do this. So 100% of all the money goes directly to the girls. Because I mean, scuba diving is just an expensive sport. It's one of the second most, I think, golf, polo, and scuba are like the most expensive types of sports, which also is a barrier of why some people, particularly Black people, don't get involved in scuba, because not only the equipment but the travel.
Listen, and you guys are making it happen. So we're going to wrap up soon, but tell me about your fundraising team and how you developed that. And I can tell you have a strong system, so that's probably how you made this happen in 4 years.
Writing grants, I call it glorified begging. But really, writing grants, we have a pretty decent stable base of recurring donors. We'd love to have more. But really, I think my thing is just grant writing. Just we're waiting for a big grant, $11 million grant. I'm crossing my fingers. That will really take us to the next level.
Guys, I really appreciate having you here. I do want to talk about possibly maybe bring you guys back both to talk about what it takes to have a nonprofit. What do people need to consider doing in a nonprofit space?
We can even make it so that, I don't know, we can do a live from Bimini or from one of our excursions.
Now you showing off. Here you go with the flex.
Yeah, she's showing off. She said because the time she scheduled it, I'll be in Lowe's in aisle 46 looking for tape or something. See, so
no, we're gonna make sure you're around. We're gonna make sure you're around. We will take we got the equipment to take you guys in the water to see what we're doing. The girls are using full face masks for this trip, so they got their comms where they can talk underwater and hear each other. So we can. There's plenty of opportunity.
This is mind blowing. Listen, if you heard any part of this, and we're going to make sure we put it in the description, make sure you donate at least $18.54 because we can tell it costs way more than $18.54 to get done. But guys, do something. Buy the snacks. That's a snack for a day. Help us because this program has to thrive. Like Brother Brandon said, another 20 years. This is going to be around. He wants to be a part of another 20 years, but we need this to be around another 1,000 years, okay? And everything is going up. Inflation is crazy right now. So make sure you get your $8.54, your $18.54, your $100 and your $180.54. However you want to put these numbers together, just do it. Go over to Blackgirlsdivefoundation.org and press the button when you hit the page, okay? Guys, we appreciate you for being here with us. Let me see, what should your outro be? Let's go back to this phone word association so you can finish. With phone in it.
Come on, Nevada. I'm going to try to
Matter of fact, I'll give you another word. Handy. What's the song
No.
Handy in it?
I'm going to help her with phone real quick. Canadian rapper.
Oh, hit me on your cell phone. Drake.
I love it. I love it. Guys, I thank you again for being here with us. I thank you for just giving us some of your time. And then the service that you're providing in this world is extraordinary. I actually hope it's duplicated. I hope somebody comes and say, I think I could do this and do at least half of what you're doing, because what you're doing is crazy. The sauce on it, the seasoning sauce that you put on it needs to be bottled, shipped out, and sent around the world to every place you go and plus more. So if you have any closing words, you can give it now. If not, you guys can press the X at the top.
If anyone has any, young ladies that are interested in the program, look us up. We're taking applications for a new cohort, and we're always open to volunteers to help support the program. As I said, we're all volunteer based, so it'll be great to have even more Lincoln alum participating.
Please send that information over, because we're going to post it. We'll put it in our stories tomorrow, or whenever you get a chance to send it to us. We'll put it up.
Okay.
Brother Brown, do you have anything closing?
Hail, hail, Lincoln.
Hail, Lincoln.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for what you do again.
You.
If you can make sure you exit out for me at the top of the X, right at the top of your page. Just
All right.
right.
Bye, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. See y'all.
Guys, while they're exiting, I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being in the replay. Thank you for sending it out to some of your friends, right? Because this was awesome. I didn't expect to get that much from this. This organization, Blackgirlsdive, is phenomenal. They're taking young girls as young as 8 around the world to learn all about marine biology. These kids are diving. They're going to go study sharks and swim with the sharks. They're flying drones. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Like, I wish I had this opportunity, but I'm working on creating an opportunity. We're working on an adult program. It can be just for alum. Nobody, you still watching, okay? So again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being awesome alumni. I love you, my brothers, sisters, and cousins. Continue to do what you do. And like Brother Brown said, hell, Lincoln. Make sure you tune in for our next interviews in 2 Wednesdays from now. And if you have a nonprofit you want us to highlight it, DM us. Again, hell, Lincoln, and have a great evening.